Hello, today's topic is tissue. First of all, what is meant by tissue? A group of cells or group of similar cells in structure or work together to achieve a specific or particular function to form. It's called a tissue. Means a group of cells, not a group of cells which is in similar shape and similar structure, but they are why they are in group, because to perform to achieve a particular function is called a tissue. This is the main definition of the tissue. Then let's suppose combination of the cells is called tissue. Then combination of the tissue is called organ. Then combination of organs is called organ system, and combination of the organ system, this is the then we call it as a body like this. Then type of tissue, there are two types of tissue: plant tissue and animal tissue. These are the main type of tissue, and this video is based on the tissue, and this is a main part of the this video, main part of the tissue. Then there are two types: plant tissue and animal tissue. Then I will discuss firstly plant tissue, then second half video I will discuss animal tissue. The first half I will discuss plant tissue. What is meant by plant tissue? The plant tissue are specially designed for a function to required by the plant. Obviously, plant tissue are used by the plant, so we call it as a plant tissue. Then animal tissue is specially designed for functioning required by the animals. So obviously they are required by the animals function and required by the animals. So we call it as animal tissue. But basic plant tissue and animal tissue, basic function, difference. What is the basic difference in that? The basic difference: plant are in rest position like this, and animals can move. They are like this, move like this, one place to another place, designed for the locomotion. So animal tissue is based on the locomotion, locomotion tissue, and plant tissue are specially designed for the rest of tissue. Then classification of the plant tissue. What is a classification? There are two classes of plant tissue. First one is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. What is meristematic tissue? These meristematic tissue are used for the growth of the plant, and permanent tissue are like, if we this is a, like assume that this is a plant, and plant are this is a plant, but plant require a growth. Plant are do not do locomotion, but they do a growth. So for the growth there are tissue are different, and for the permanent tissue, which are permanent tissue, the permanent place where plant are stay at permanent area, permanent place. So for permanent like this, then permanent tissue is available. There are two types. First one is meristematic tissue, and second one is permanent tissue. Then meristematic tissue are again divided into three tissue, three part of tissue. First one is apical meristem, second one is lateral meristem, and third one is intercalamitary meristem. First one is apical meristem, means this suppose imagine that this is a plant, and apical meristem, we know that the meristem tissue are used for the growth purpose. So we have divided into two types: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Let's suppose this is a plant, this is a small plant, and apical tissue, apicals mean at the top of the plant. So let's assume that the apical meristem, assume that this is a plant, and at apical level, at apical meristem are present for the growth of the plant, for the again growth of the plant. So at the top of meristem or apical meristem tissues are present. Then lateral meristem are lateral meristem. Suppose this is a plant and this is the width of the plant. So the lateral meristem are used to develop a width of the plant. This is the width of the plant, to develop width of the plant. Then intercalamitary meristem tissue are these tissue are used to go growth purpose, but in this is, let's suppose this is a plant and this is the first node and this is second node, and in between the node we in between that node in between node growth is doing growth uh, is developing in the growth is done between this node, and this nodes this growth are due to the intercalary metrium tissues. This is present in interior part of the plant. Okay, then second part of the plant is permanent tissue. And I have discussed before meristematic tissue. Then I am discussing right now permanent tissue. Permanent tissue are placed as a permanently, means permanently at this position. This is a permanent position of mine. So like this permanent position. Then there are permanent tissue as divided into two types. First one is simple and second one is complex. Simple means they are simple cells, like same cells which are in same type of cell are present in this simple cell. Same type of cells are present, and complex means different type of cells are present. In simple there are three type of simple tissue. First one is parenchyma, second one is collenchyma, and third one is sclerenchyma. Then first one is parenchyma. Parenchyma means we are discussing in the like a difference. What is difference between parenchyma, then collenchyma, and sclerenchyma? Let's suppose this is a plant. Large in parenchyma, large intracellular space are present in parenchyma. Then collenchyma, little space are available in parenchyma tissue. The space between the in the parenchyma tissue, the space is large. Like this is the first tissue. This is the first tissue. This is the second tissue. The gap between is large in parenchyma, and then in collenchyma, the space between two tissue is small compared to the parenchyma and sclerenchyma. Then in sclerenchyma, the space is not available. That is congested. That is the tissue are congested or joined to each other, and the cells are long and narrow and thick due to the lagging. So they are connected to each other. So there is no space available in sclerenchymatic tissue. And second point is parenchyma are living cell, and collenchyma is also living cell, and sclerenchyma is dead cell. Have you observed a new plant, and if you observe or if you touch outer surface of the limb plant, if you take this outer part of the plant, and then you can take this part like a part like this. This is a plant, new plant. We can easily remove the outer surface. This is the dead cell. So dead cells are present in sclerenchyma tissue. So then parenchyma tissue is used for the food storage and mechanical stuff. Parenchyma function. What is the function? Then function is a parenchyma tissue is food storage and mechanical support. And if you observe the plant, they are flexible in nature. So this flexibility are due to the collenchymatic tissue, and then this also give mechanical support. Then sclerenchyma, the sclerenchyma tissue are in give a hardness and stiffness. Then we will discuss permanent tissue. I have discussed first I have discussed simple. Second, I am discussing a complex tissue, simple tissue and complex tissue. What is a complex tissue? There are the complex tissue means different type of cells. Means if you observe, this is different type of cells and this is different types of joined together. A complex is formed. So complex tissue is formed. So this is called complex type of complex tissue. Then there are two type of complex tissue. First one is xylem, and second one is phylum. First one is xylem. Xylem is used for transport water and minerals. Transport water and minerals. And phylum is used for transport the food. And xylems are unidirectional because let's suppose this is a plant and we know that the plant take water and minerals from its root, and roots are deep in the land. So obviously then plant suck the water and minerals from the soils from down and goes to the up to use for the users for user to use the user for use of this material to the plant. The goes from take from this materials water and goes to up, means this is unidirectional flow, not a bidirectional. Means the water cannot the leaf at the top of the plant cannot pass the water from up to down. They always goes down to up. So this is main difference between xylem and phylum. Phylum is a bidirectional because we know that the plant making a food by the plant making the food from the leaves. So leaves are present everywhere. Each leaves produce a food. So each leaves produce food. Like let's suppose this is a plant and this is leaves. These leaves are produce of food. These leaves also produce of food. These leaves also produce food. Then these leaves transport the food in a four direction. This leaves transport food for middle. This leaves transport food for leave at this point. Then this for this activity, for this purpose, they transport the food in every part of the plant in any direction. So this is a binary directional. So phylum tissue are bidirectional. Then the examples of xylems like vessels, xylem, parenchyma, xylem fibers, etc. And phylum examples is phylum fibers, phylum parenchyma, etc. These are the examples of the phylum tissues. Then they both means complex tissues are both conducting tissue and constitute a vascular bundle. And why they are called complex tissue, I already discussed. It contains different type of cells. This is the answer. So this is the first part of the video. I am discussing plant. I have discussed plant tissue. I am discussing animal tissue. I have discussed plant tissue. This is plant tissue, and animal tissue is a part of the tissue. Is the type of the tissue. So I am discussing right now animal tissue. What is animal tissue? Animal tissue means this tissue can do locomotion, and this tissue are used by the animals. So let's suppose this is I'm an animal, humans are animals. So we are doing the locomotion. So animal tissue, we are use a different type of tissue. So we have divided into type tissue. First one plant tissue, and the second one animal tissue. So I'm discussing right now animal tissue. The animal tissue have four types. First one is epithelial, second one is muscular, fourth one is connective, and fifth one is nervous. Epithelial tissue. What is epithelial? Epithelial tissue means epithelial cover. For epithelial tissue is used for the cover and protect the tissue, and it is also for protect the organ. So for protect organs. And then epithelial tissues like a squamous, squamous. Then cuboidals. Cuboidals are like a cube shape. Then third number is columnar, like a column shape. Ciliated. What is meant by ciliated? Ciliated tissue are means like a ear structure. Like this is a ear. The hair follicle. This is hair follicle. Then hair follicles are also flexible. So this is called this is means a ciliated. Then glandular means a gland. So this is the epithelium. Then muscles. The basic function of the muscles is we are using the muscles for the work. So basic the function for the work. Then they are divided into, again divided into three part. First one is dry, straight, smooth, and cardiac. Straight muscles, straight tissue means for voluntary muscles. Let's suppose what is voluntary means we are this means some tissue means some tissue are we can control like this hand movement I'm controlling right now. So this is voluntary muscles are present in straight tissue. Then second type is smooth muscle. Smooth muscle means involuntary muscle, means we cannot control this. Like a heartbeat we can't control, like a digestion muscle we can't control, like a brain tissue we can't control. So this tissue are present in smooth muscles. Then cardiac muscles. Cardiac means we know that obviously we know that heart, so heart related muscles are present in cardiac. Then third type is connective tissue. Connective tissue means meanings are present in that word only. So what is connective tissue? Connective tissue for use for connection, for the build a connection. Then for building the connection, which type of tissue is used? Like answer is simple. First one is blood. Blood is connect the tissue, connect the one part to the another part. Means blood, then lymph, then bone, then cartilage, then areola, then tendon, then ligaments are the connective tissue. Then nerves tissue means there are nerve present. Let's suppose take example. I hit the wall by this by the hand. Then what happened? Then the connection. Then the action. Then the action I have taken that due to this action I am these signals, the affected signal goes to the brain, and brain give the reaction as a reaction to remove the hand. So this action are these action are these signals are goes due to the nerve cells. So nerve cells are present in nerve tissue. So this is animal tissue. This is my video on the tissue. So this is Omkar from signing off for the day.